So thank you everybody for coming here. I'm here with the one and only 10cc's new community manager, Spiken, or we
Yeah.
also know as Calais. So Calais, do you want to
Yeah,
do you
thank
want
you.
to do you want to introduce yourself for a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, my name is Kalle. It's a nickname for Carl in Sweden. It's quite common. I started at 10 Chambers a little over 3 weeks ago, so I am a really freshly baked community manager. And before that, I was in gaming media for over 10 years. I was the editor-in-chief for one of Sweden's oldest and largest gaming sites called FZ. So this is, I mean, it's still community, but it's being on the game dev side of things is new territory for me. So it's really exciting, and the community for GTFO is really it's really good. I mean, I've never been so felt so welcomed by any community,
Mm.
uh, and it's really good.
Well, I'm glad that the community that we are also a part of can also make you feel welcome as well. It is definitely an
Yeah, I mean,
honor and a
I mean,
pleasure to have you with us.
it's
Have you
really a
guys heard
hardcore game.
my theory on why I think the GTFO community is like so nice?
No,
No.
please
No.
no.
I think it's because anyone who's like who can't adapt to other players or has like an ego and is refusing to be like humbled by the game, all that kind of stuff. All the people who'd be typically toxic,
Yeah,
I think they're literally like naturally selected out because if they don't get far in the game, because they have these like abrasive personalities, they're not gonna get too far, and then they're probably gonna drop the game.
yeah,
That's actually
That's
a
my
mean,
theory.
pretty decent theory.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I mean, good groups form in like the hardest challenges, like doing military servers or something like that. And, like, the band of brothers. Uh, if you face with a really hard challenge, you bond together. So that's probably quite close.
Well, then let me just introduce you to my two, co-hosts. I don't know what to call this, but they're basically the two people who were invited to also join in on this, little charade that I have, cooked up for today. The one and only, the longtime speedrunner of this community. If you talk about speedrunning, I guess this man has been like there since the start. RandomKenny, my teammate as well.
That's me. Yeah, that was back in the alpha network test, doing duo speedruns with my friend,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
then and then I had one big video. The very first level, we got like it wasn't even like a good time. It was like a 5:35 on A1 of the first rundown. It's got like a shit ton of views, even though it's like one of the worst speed runs ever. We've done so many better ones since then. It's kind of crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We have optimized it to quite a lot, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course, we cannot forget the one and only, the voice of the people, most likely, because I guess like among all of us here, the one who play with like other people the most is definitely you, Ari. So Arianna Foxton, she's also live, so
Yes, hello.
she woke up early for us today.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. My brain's still warming up.
All right. So now that we're all done with introduction, shall we go and then just drop into A3 and let's get this PE going, shall we?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But so Calais, you mentioned earlier that you said that you used to work in games media and now
Yeah.
you have decided you're gonna come in and shift into working into game development.
Yeah.
What interests you about this game that you decided to work with 10cc?
The funny thing is, I am really easily scared.
Mm.
So horror games isn't really my cup of tea. I mean, I play Resident Evil with like the lights on during daytime, just to
Mm.
just to manage. uh, but in some way, I'm not that afraid of this game. I think it's the co-op thing. I mean, I'm with friends. in this horrible place. And I always enjoyed co-op games. Those are usually the best experiences, doing things together with other players.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is-
I reckon GTFO isn't so much a horror game in the
No.
traditional sense. It's a very atmospheric game,
Yeah.
which happens to be eerie. But nothing really
Yeah.
like jump scares you.
No.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
have
don't think
been jump
it's-
scared plenty of times by
I
my own
also have
stupidity.
been jump scared quite a few times.
We all have been there. Like, you know, sometimes you just turn around and just like this one giant striker just has to be right there, charging up and ready
I
to.
don't think GTFO is like horror in the like jump scary traditional sense, but to me it's horror because it has like the pucker factor.
Yeah. But I mean,
If it makes any sense.
just looking at this room with all the fog and stuff, if I would be alone in here, I would be afraid. But being
Hello,
with other
Cyan.
people
Welcome.
just takes
You
the
know the true fear of this game, Cully? It's fall
having
damage.
no ammo. Yeah, fall damage. Absolutely.
It's true that I can relate to that sentiment quite a lot.
Good.
I
Hello,
think,
Peach.
There was a
How you
question someone
doing?
wanted to ask you.
Shoot.
Yeah, I mean,
Is
like, of
it,
course, both of you, like, you
It
know,
was
can
I'm
ask
trying
him.
to remember. I think it was do you ever lurk on GTFO streams?
Sometimes, of course. We have good tools to see if anyone is online and streaming. So I'm trying to get to know everyone that are streaming the game and
I see.
see what we could do in the future. But I think the first question was pineapple on pizza or not, and that's like the most burning question.
That is definitely true. Yes, pineapple and pizza. Yes or no?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course. I mean, we
I don't mind pineapple
even-
on pizza.
even do banana on pizza. Have you tried that?
No? Is it like
Yeah, I usually have
how is the banana on the pizza?
you
Banana on
slice it, you know?
pizza.
Yeah, banana, ham, and some yellow curry.
You see,
That's-
I'm always open to like anything.
Yeah.
Because
And
I'm
it's
just
really
like I'm wondering how the banana is. Is it like soft or not soft?
Yeah, usually it's soft. Yeah.
Oh,
Ari be
spoil
like,
it
"How
yet,
is that
Ross.
banana?"
How's that
I'm gonna ask
banana?
that soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's really good.
here's the burning question from my community. The,
Oh my god.
I asked this question to everyone. I think everyone knows where I'm going.
Oh.
Okay, I'm ready.
So if
Or am I?
if you had a burger,
No.
Okay.
if you had a burger
I like where this is going.
and it came with the two buns or the same side bun, would you
Okay.
prefer a burger with two top buns or a burger with two bottom buns?
Oh. Wow.
That's easy. Top ones, of course. Especially
There we
if there's-
go. Good
There
man,
we
good
go.
man.
Can't believe
yeah.
it.
Good man.
Can't
Let's give him a
believe
round
it.
of applause.
Round of applause, ladies and
Believe
gentlemen.
it.
Of course. If you have like this ones with sesame seeds, you want that flavor.
I
Why
can't believe the official stance of GTFO is the top bun gang.
Hey man, look, top buns are softer, so therefore they're superior. Mwah.
What do
Why
you
would you
mean?
want the
They're
bottom
softer.
ones? I can't. You need to explain that. Why do you want the bottom ones?
Yeah.
Why do I like the
You
bottom
might as well
ones?
just have a
It gives
sandwich.
The burger structure.
You
Oh,
just
so
have a
good.
sandwich at that stage. Just get two flat pieces
Yeah,
of
I
bread.
mean, it's practically an English muffin. I don't mind. I like English muffins.
Yeah, those are good as well.
Interesting.
I have
Yeah.
been hit by a shooter 3 times in a row. I hate it here.
Story of every
Worst
GTO player.
rundown ever. There are so many shooters.
Is that like the
Well, I
feedback
have
you
a
like to give to
theory
our?
that every first boot of the game just has an abnormal amount of shooters. I don't know why, but you know, first boot, second boot of the game, just
Yeah.
50% of the enemies are shooters.
Yeah, that's why.
Confirm well, from our
Just keep
observation,
that in mind.
our anecdotal evidence from like playing this game for thousands of hours.
See, look, it's all shooters.
It is true. Like yeah, they're all-
Always has been.
Oh,
god.
I just saw Kenny use sidestep with a shooter bolt and it just hit me right behind you.
I almost
A
shot the mine.
classic.
The classic bait and switch.
And it happened to me too. Went for mage and it hit me.
Oh yeah. I mean, I lost 5 HP, so therefore I also got.
There's
I
so
got
many
you.
here.
There's so many. There's too many.
Kill them
What
all.
is wrong with shooters?
I also like to form on a question my own self. If you were to sell this game to your closest friend, how would you sell this game?
Oh yeah. I mean, the parallels to Left 4 Dead, I think, somewhat misleading.
Oh yes, yes.
Oh man, that was such a thing before the game even like came into early access.
Oh, yeah.
People were always comparing it to Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, I mean, and that feels strange to me. It's more about the atmosphere and like the tension and stuff like that. So, I mean, more.
Yeah,
Oh,
Left 4
so
Dead was
they
like
crossed
a
the
line.
arcade shooter.
It definitely is, and obviously this game is different because correct me if I'm wrong, Kenny. Didn't like the developer Tenzi said that the inspiration for expeditions in general they took it from Destiny 2 raids, right? It feels more like a
Yeah, I believe that they said they have been inspired by Destiny 2 raids and stuff like that. Like a big group effort to clear like a dungeon, that kind of vibe.
It's nice to hear that because that's the comparison I actually always use. Even though I've never played Destiny, I always said like it feels more like a raid in like an RPG.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do raiding in World of Warcraft, and that was always a massive undertaking.
Yes. And I think maybe one day we'll also get like some time where we're gonna start taking several days just to even complete a section of a level.
Yeah, I mean, this is already stretching it far from a lot of other games that you could play a game in 15 or 20 minutes. I mean, if you clear a long level under an hour, you're probably quite fast.
What's your favorite level and why?
I mean, I haven't played all the levels yet, of course.
Favorite level
I
so
really-
So far.
far.
Yep.
Yeah, but I have a love-hate relationship with B4 because I mean
Classic.
the constant stress of having that clock ticking down. It's terrible in a good way, or so good it's terrible.
Yeah. I feel like B4 is definitely a map that has a divide between like a community. Like some people really love it, some people really hated it.
Yeah.
I like
This
it for how
room-
unique it is, although I think it would have been better as a optional objective,
Yeah, probably.
like thrown in as an extreme on a B4 or something.
So here, this one is from Robin. He said, "What's your favorite weapon and why is it the machine pistol?"
Machine pistol.
Lies. Machine pistol fucking at least in this rundown.
Yeah. I like the DMR, I like the pistol, I like the shotguns. I mean, I usually shotgun guy. I mean, ever since I played Doom, I love shotguns in games.
So then
What's
that's
your favorite?
our favorite guns.
Yeah.
Ooh, for this rundown or just all time?
Whatever.
Cannon.
Where's cannon? it will never come back. Let me tell that for a fact.
What has been your favorite rundown so far?
I've only played 4 and 5, so I don't really have too much of an opinion on like 1, 2, 3. But I preferred the pacing of 4, not like the individual levels, but the rate that new enemies were introduced.
I think 4 was a really good rundown overall.
I think 4 was pretty decent. I think it's definitely. I think a lot of most of the community definitely like rundown 4 as well.
Yeah.
Rundown 2 was also a good rundown, but that's just because they just added the bulk of the material into the game.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
coming from 1 which had like, I don't know, 4 enemies to all these different variations and all these different alarms and fog and spitters. Spitters suck. But
Yeah.
yeah, there was just so
Everyone
much.
loves spitters.
There's all this content that just got added into Rundown 2 that was just
Oh,
like.
why am I
really
taking this
cool.
all the way to the end? What the fuck?
So
Yeah,
for me,
good.
I know this is like a cliche answer and it's kind of like a beaten to death answer, but I do like Rundown 2 the most. But because of the exact reason that Kenny said, it's a rundown that introduced the most number of things. It makes you feel like, wow, this game really is amazing. There is something that to really look forward to in this game.
Yeah.
For that, and it just flips that understanding of like how we play the game like quite a bit. So
So
yeah.
how many hours have you played?
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Uh,
Let me take a look at my Steam profile real quick.
I think today is gonna be the day that pushes me over 1400.
1400. I mean, and you only
and then
played
I think
2 rundowns. That's insane.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
I think I would be next at 2200,
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
and then Mage, what are you at?
2600.
My god. That's
Wesley in chat, how many hours do you have?
Starfree combat shotgun will never be forgotten, it says.
I mean,
All right, Wesley, give us a raw number, Wesley. Come on.
That's
Wesley
really
has like
impressive.
4,000 hours, I swear.
So Callie, I think if you don't mind, I'm gonna ask like a slightly more serious question. I hope you don't
Yeah.
mind this. So
Yeah.
the thing about so now that you have taken up the role of the community manager, I would imagine it's actually quite a big undertaking.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, has it been like kind of rough so far? Like difficult? Do you find it difficult?
Not that rough. 'Cause, I mean, we had a big community at my last job, so I'm used to working with communities, having a lot of people having opinions about stuff. So, I mean, I see that as part of the job and my mission to be the ear and to be understanding and try to help people with the game and their problems.
Mm.
I mean, I can't solve all the problems, but I can listen to people, and that's usually a good start.
Definitely,
Mm.
like because so I was like I think like within like this game the communication between the dev and the players has always been so like from what I've seen, like from what me and Kenny have seen like over the course of this game coming out since early access, is that the communication has always been what is a good way to put it, has always been not so smooth, lackluster, not so smooth, right? And I guess it's also probably because maybe the dev themselves like had never really had like designated any person into like taking on this role as a community manager and like properly, and because of that like the communication has always been one of the biggest struggle.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you need to remember that the base game was made by 9 people, 10 people. And that's a big undertaking just to get a game out there. So
yeah.
And that's why they employed me to be that ear and voice for the community.
Yeah.
And I mean, I mean, to be the community manager for me is to be a part of the community. You can't be on the outside. You need to dive right in. So that's my goal for the near future. just to be able to play with the community and listen to, praise and other aspects of the game.
And I think it's also I'm also like thank you again for like coming on today. Like this is really amazing that you actually agreed to like, sit down with all three of us to like playing this.
Of course, for me it's like, of course, why wouldn't I? It would be, I can't help the community. I can't help grow the community if I don't know the community.
I think
I'm
that's
really-
a refreshing change from what I think most people in different gaming communities see from their community manager.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. I obviously can't speak for every other gaming community, but I think it's pretty rare that the community manager will actively like play with the community,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's
I mean,
I feel like yeah.
fun thing because the community manager role hasn't been around for that long. I mean,
Yeah,
going
right.
back
Mhm.
only 3 years, that role didn't exist, and a lot of studios see the community manager more as a social media manager.
Yeah, that's exactly
Uh,
right.
So, but that's not community management for me. That's social media management. There's a big difference. I mean, of course, you could build communities on social media. We're trying that as well. But to really manage a community, you need to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's a good distinction there. Like, there's a clear distinction that I never really thought of between a community manager and a social media manager.
Yeah. And a lot of studios and publishers use community managers as social media managers or vice versa.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm gonna be working with social media, but that's not the main focus.
Indeed.
So that's always the burning question, right? What kind of melee weapon do you use? A mallet or a
Oh.
maul?
Oh, no, that is the question that divides the community.
Yeah, I know.
It does not divide the community. A large group clearly choose the gavel.
Oh man, now we're going there again.
Shots fire.
Gavel.
I didn't go there. For GTFO's 1-year anniversary, 10 Chambers went there.
Gavel,
They gave us the stats.
they gave us a
The
stat.
community agrees.
No,
The
no,
gavel
wait.
is the weapon of the people.
No. Okay, the gavel may be the weapon of the people. The maul is the weapon of the Chad. Got him.
Oh, if I'm a mallet guy, fine.
As
What?
long as it's not the sledgehammer.
That's true.
Oh,
Don't stream. Actually, no, wait, he streamed already. Never mind.
That is the step.
Nice. Wonder, is it this one?
Nice.
I need to.
Oh,
Mages!
I heard the footstep and I'm like, wait. I heard the footstep and I'm like, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
There's another one coming over here. Oh my god.
I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving.
Okay, behind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, down. Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Hmm.
I realized my impending doom when I heard the giant striker to start stepping right next to me. I was like, yep, he's right next to me, isn't he?
I wanted to check the terminal and I see you're on it, but right as I saw you there, I just saw the guy like backhand bitch slap you.
Yep. There is one more question that I have actually been particularly saving, like specifically for the end of this little session.
Yeah. Dude,
So-
I'm eager.
So now that we know, we're all of us are looking forward to, the new rundown, the new
Yeah.
new big update, and possibly the 1.0 release. It has definitely been something that I feel the 10cc has been alluding to us for quite a while now, and now that we have the chance for you to have you come with us and build this relationship, and
Yeah.
you coming in with as a new CM and everything, like I'm pretty sure that not just us but the entire player base will also have like lots and lots of things to say, opinions, feedbacks, and all plethora of things whenever the new update comes, right?
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
would you from the point of view from the community manager, what would you say is the best like way for us to give feedback, give opinions, say what our opinions?
Yeah, I would say the official Discord. I mean, you're all members, and I'll be present on that for every day. I mean, so if you have feedback, if you want to discuss something or have questions, just ask me in general chat or in GTFO chat or in DM, whatever you feel comfortable with. I mean, that's my job. I want to hear your feedback.
It's interesting that you say that
So
you would also that you also accept DMs. Like that
yeah,
is
of course. I mean, not everyone is open to ask questions in an open forum that way. So I
Mhm.
totally understand the need for having more private discussions about matters. So that's of course.
mm, that guess just end all my questions right there. So
Yeah,
our
and I would like to also say, I mean, I would like to have your feedback on how you would like to have more information from the actual developers. If you want to
mm,
do like regular AMAs, or do you want like devlogs in video form or in text form, and how would you like to be more informed?
I guess we can go definitely around the table for the three of us on this topic.
Yeah,
So I just
yeah,
gonna start with mine first. I think for me personally, especially because this game is in early access, I wish that the dev had actually done more developer thoughts, like those kind of like little
Mhm.
short, like
yeah,
few paragraphs, like just short notes of like what they are working, not just what they're working on right now, but also like maybe write about like what they just what they think in general, like about the anything really. It doesn't have to
yeah,
be development. Can be something about the community, the moving forward, what they think about the future. Because
yeah,
like I said earlier, like the communication between the player, the community, and the developer has not been the smoothest like up until now. And
yeah,
just being able to hear more about what the developers are thinking is something that would be very refreshing, because right now I feel like it's just a one-way communication where it's just us, the community, saying things, and we would
yeah,
end up saying 100 of different things in all 16 directions, and but we don't even know like which one is the one that's getting to the dev, and what are they listening
yeah.
to, what do they find
Mhm.
useful or not useful.
As I said, the official Discord is the best place. We have the forum for suggestions for the game, and as I said, I will be online on that Discord channel for the foreseeable future. So just reach out, and I come from a editorial background with being in game media, so I would really like to do both devlogs in video form and in text form, just to give you more insights on like the basic stuff. How does actually the hammer work, or how did we come up with the colors of the glow sticks? And I mean, there's yeah,
Yeah, where's the blue
It's
glow
a
stick
blue
so we can have
ghost.
the RGB glow sticks?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, where is the glow stick sentry? I mean,
A sentry that shoots glow
Hashtag
sticks.
Social
glows
glow sticks.
century. I feel like you're giving.
That's a
I
good
feel like
idea.
you're
You're giving the
modders
modders and
some ammo
ideas.
that you're trying that we should not
yeah,
be giving.
that was actually not my idea.
Glow
That
stick
came
century.
from someone in the on the Discord channel. I can't remember his name.
Oh
Uh,
no.
uh, so I totally understand, and I'm actually presenting like a half-year plan for what I want to do with the community.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm taking all of this into consideration.
All right, so thank you very much. So I guess we go around the table.
Yeah.
Kenny, is there anything like you wanna say or talk about in this matter? Is there anything that you want from the dev in particular?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe just more updates. Just more consistent updates. Just being like, hey, what are we doing? We're doing this.
Yeah, but
Like
content updates or updates on the progress of
updates on progress. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I know that GTFO's a big part of
Yeah.
it is that the content is the surprise. So like
Yeah.
you don't want to just be like, hey, we're introducing this enemy and it's gonna do this. Like that kind of just ruins the surprise, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Sort of just like ideas being like, oh, we're working on a couple of enemies. We might be able to get one or two into the next rundown, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like not
I
anything
was just
specific,
thinking
just
like
yeah.
Yeah, but
something
like
kind of similar. Like even just a video or just like a video of highlights of a stream of you guys like designing a map, just one map of the next rundown.
yeah, that would be cool.
Hmm.
I feel
I
like
mean,
it doesn't give away too much.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we have the roadmap for some of that things, but it's quite barren in information. You just have the topics,
Mhm.
so I would like to, as I said, do more in depth stuff like that.
Yeah, I just think at least for my opinion on this is that obviously like you have to try to find some balance between like keeping stuff secretive so it's
Yeah.
not like everything's
Yeah.
spoiled, but then being at least a
But-
bit transparent where it's not like so at least there is a community.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's always tricky to talk about
Find that balance. Yeah.
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 But I mean, doesn't hinder us from talking about design stuff after they are released and giving more insights into how they came to be.
Mm.
I see. So,
Yeah.
and then just finishing off with Ari, is there anything else you want to add to all this?
I mean, my opinion was kind of what Kenny's opinion was. I would like to get a few more. I don't want like necessarily spoilers. Like I don't want to know what they're doing, but I at least want context.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really too much more to add onto that, at least for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think I've also said everything as well. Like, I'm looking forward to what the dev has in store. Like definitely so far, we have been seeing a few things we don't really know how it's gonna
Yeah.
go, and
Yeah.
it's good to see a dev coming back into working in Rundown 6 again rigorously after they have had their long deserved break.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh, actually, Amanis brings up a good one. We
Mm.
have design insights on older levels, like what was the intent, what was done, scrapped ideas, yada yada.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be
I
cool.
wouldn't mind that. Like
that would
I'm
be cool.
thinking. I
Yeah.
remember there was it Lost Coast? There's like Half-Life Lost Coast. It was you would walk around this map in Half-Life, and there you could like interact with these bubbles, and you could hear
Oh
like
yeah.
what
Yeah.
the
I
devs'
remember that.
intentions were with
That was
like,
excellent.
oh, this cliff we wanted to add a bit more verticality, so the player actually now has to worry not just about like what's around them, but what's above and below. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah. Those were excellent. I think they did it first for Lost Coast, but I think they had it in all the games after that. Or they added it
I would like
to
to see
the
that.
main story. Yeah. Yeah, that would be really cool.
All
Is
right.
that I guess that also does add to like my whole concept of like I just want more context to what the devs are doing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Of course.
Definitely,
I don't really
definitely.
care to know what they're
You've been
doing. I
playing this
just want the
game for over
context.
1,000 hours. There's, I totally understand to want to know more about like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
Mhm.
I can clearly say that all three of us here are rooting for this game. We are rooting
Yeah.
that I think that also not just us, but also the people who are watching in my stream, Ari's stream, we're all like, rooting
Mhm.
for TNCC.
Yeah,
At
I
the end of
mean,
the day, like,
and the game.
sometimes we may end up like, saying some things that like, out of too much passion, like for me, for example. But at the end of the day, like,
Yeah,
we are rooting.
Yeah.
me too.
I mean,
I think that's. Hmm?
yeah, I mean, it's so cliche to say that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the players, but that's so true for
Mhm.
a game like this being developed by a really small group of people that has now the opportunity to grow the studio to even more people and laying even more focus. So I mean, it's because of you guys and your followers that the game is where it is today.
I think with that, like the stuff said out of passion,
Yeah,
this is like to build on that context point. Usually, from at least what I've noticed, whenever there's like a roadmap or a rundown, like we're approaching the end of a rundown, I hear more people tend to get like anxious about what the devs are going to do, less excited. And I think
yeah,
that just has to do with context, right?
yeah. I mean, and you are so invested in this, so of
Mm-hmm.
course you're gonna have opinions. I mean, and those opinions aren't always gonna align with what the dev's vision for the game is. And as long as we have a mutual understanding that that happens, I mean, we are all people. We can't always control what we say and what our feelings. I mean, you could end up hating the next rundown, but that's fine too, because I mean, the developers have their vision, and you have a vision about how you would like to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, right, that's such a common mistake on the internet and in gaming that we all need to have the same opinions. Of course not. We're all people, if that makes sense.
I just think from my understanding, the like the quote, like how the way the devs want their game to be, it just seems like this really blurry, undefined thing that
Half.
it leaves us as the community to kind of debate what we think the devs want to do with their game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah. I think
that's the one problem that I have.
Yeah.
I think it definitely does come down to like, just wanting to know more about the devs' opinion and devs like what they want, and
Mhm.
definitely like, hopefully with you here now, we'll get to hear more of that, and maybe not and we can have like a bit more understanding of
Yeah.
what the devs are thinking themselves.
Yeah. And you will have a focus point for your feedback. So, as you said, you don't need to have your feedback in 16 different directions and on different platforms.
Yeah.
Mm.
I will be that focal point.
All right. And
Yeah.
I think that wraps up about everything. Thank you so much for coming all the way
Yeah, that
here,
was
and
awesome. Yeah,
it's awesome. It
I
is
mean, you
definitely
carried
awesome.
me through the whole map, so I am the one that should say thanks. That was awesome. Now I have another map under my belt.
Congratulations.
Oh, good.
You definitely
If you
deserve it.
wanna, if you wanna learn more about the mechanics of the game, you're always free to hit us up.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
absolutely.
We
I
all
would love to
have
say some.
crazy amount of knowledge about how the game works.
Yeah, that's so obvious. I mean, having more
I
than
remember teaching Ari some of the mechanics as well, way back,
I
when.
I actually didn't watch any guides, and I didn't play on the GTFO Discord. Like no one told me anything for probably 4-ish hundred hours. Like
and even
I met you, Kenny, through like when you came onto my stream, and I think that was like one of the very first few times I was streaming because Goose was in my party. Because that was one of the very first times I was playing on pubs because I was working on D2PE and I had no one else to do it with. By that point, it was just me and my friends have tried to figure out everything ourselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
What do
awesome.
you, Callie? What do you think about tutorials for the game? Do you think they're needed or not?
Ooh, now this is a big question.
Yeah,
I have a
absolutely.
very firm opinion on this, actually.
Interesting. From my personal view, I
Yeah.
would think that a tutorial would be a good thing to have to introduce new players. I mean, as you said before, a part of the game is the mystery and finding out everything by yourself. But at the same time, the step to actually enjoying the game could be a little bit too steep. So
Yeah.
if a tutorial could help keeping players in the game and having them enjoying it more, why not?
I think GTFO doesn't need a tutorial. I just think that it falls into map design.
Yeah.
Because like there are so many games out there that people play all the time, or whether it be single player, co-op, or multiplayer, that don't have a tutorial. You
Yeah.
kind of just like naturally figure it out, because the first level is, I'm not going to say it is a tutorial, but it kind of
Should act
it
like
leads you to the right path through the
It should act as a
map
tutorial.
design. You
That's
kind
what
of
you're saying.
figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, a tutorial is just one tool to teach people to play the game. So I totally understand that view as well. And as I said, part of the mystery with the game is understanding everything by yourself. So yeah, it's not a tutorial couldn't solve everything. It could be a small step to having more players understanding the game and in the end enjoying the game.
Like one of the very first things that I liked about R4A1 versus R5A1 is that the first alarm door you do, if you were to close every single door around the alarm, you would immediately figure out how the spawning works, because you only see two doors that are broken in a very specific way.
Interesting.
Whereas in this one, there's only one door close to you, because they spawn like what, two rooms away, right? But the second
2 areas away.
room has no door, so you would never know that it's 2 rooms away. You just see the closest door to you, the one door brick. You don't know if they take the closest path to the room or the closest path to you, because there's only a single door and that's it, right? But at least in R4, I mean, I remember when I watched like new people play R4A1, everyone always fucked up the first time, because they always thought like it would take this one path and then they would wipe, and then they tried again, and then they would get past it, and then they'd figure out, oh, they're taking like this path because it's the closest path to, or the closest door to where they spawn, stuff like that.
I mean, that's really interesting. When you could probably do some level design just by having that
As a principle, you see?
Yeah. The understanding of how people understands maps, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the very first level in every rundown should be a formula for teaching things in a very guided way.
Yeah.
I feel like rundown 2 and 3 did a good job of this, and then rundown 4 kind of got a bit messy with the optional
bulkheads?
objectives as well.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, I remember watching everyone getting very confused on that, trying to like, I found a bulkhead key, and then they're just like, what number key do you have? This door doesn't accept that key. They try to put the key in the door.
Like I put key in a normal in a door, not in the bulkhead, like, you know, receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would say, like, you know, and then obviously come to this rundown. This, I think A1 definitely was not a good tutorial. It's actually like the hardest A tier, A1 like in existence. And if like for new players just coming into this game, like if like, you know, the easier A1s in the past was already giving them so much trouble, this A1 is could potentially just has like higher potency of just making them give up.
Yeah, I remember watching Cloud9 Vienna, Tricky, Bao, and Aikipataka. They're like, each of them had, I think, like 4,000 people watching. they took 8 hours on A1 and never completed it. They haven't played it since.
Yeah.
And that's post nerf as well.
Yeah.
I remember.
But I don't think it's because it's like quote unquote hard. I think it's just that the map design, it doesn't really lead new players to exactly figure out how the game works.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's really interesting.
Yeah, all a balancing act.
Yeah, of
Mhm.
course.
All right.
I mean, doing level design is an art.
Is an art,
Absolutely.
and it is
Yeah.
definitely not easy.
No.
But we do hope that the next one is always going to be better than the previous one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, if people aren't even completing the first level, as you said, they will probably not try again to complete another level. So that's a really good point.
all right. Although, have we been stalling you for long? I'm always a little bit worried. Like looking at the time, just thinking like, have we been stalling
No
you for
worries.
too long?
No worries. No worries at all. As I said, this was really nice. I mean, both to ask, answering your questions and asking questions to you and get some feedback. I mean,
Mhm.
that's why I'm here.
Mm. And I
Yeah,
hope,
and I'm really happy that we got to do this.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is
excellent.
definitely the first, and I hope it's not the last. Like maybe
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, I really hope we can do this again. Like after
Yeah.
next update comes out, I feel like it will be an
Absolutely.
amazing thing.
Yeah, I can
Yep.
almost promise you that.
All right, then
Yeah.
I'll definitely hit you up again when the time comes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All
I'll
right.
be around on Discord.
All right.
Cool.
So
Excellent.
I,
Alright.
I guess we should wrap it up here. Thank you.
Yeah, this was a big pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure for me too as well because
Yes,
I've
yeah.
never done anything like this before, so I'm just hoping that as the host I did not make
Oh
you too
no, you were an
uncomfortable.
excellent host. No, you were an
Hey,
excellent host.
maybe
And
we
natural.
can do it again next rundown.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
All
Have
right.
a excellent weekend and hope to see you soon.
Of course. Hope to see
Yeah,
you soon.
too.
Okay,
See you,
great.
Kelly.
See you,
Yeah,
Callie.
cheers.
See ya.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.